Coming from a very religious home was one of the most complicated things for me. I think it really had its roots deeper than I realized, and probably deeper than most people realize. I come from Pentecostal and Jehovah's Witness, and if you know, you know those two don't mix. So that was the foundation of my spirituality. Yeah, let's talk about it. When I started deconstructing, I didn't realize exactly how complicated it was going to be. I didn't realize that sometimes when you spend enough time in religion, those roots can run deeper than you ever even imagined. But when that very religion, well, one of them, is teaching you to literally hate yourself, ooh. And no, I'm not saying that I was being taught to hate myself intentionally, but they knew a part of me was something their religion didn't believe in. So if you're teaching me that something that is a part of me is a bad thing, a low vibrational thing, or even a demonic thing, well, what am I going to start thinking about myself? So Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe that when you pass away, that there's anything left of you. For me, well, I was born the way I am. I realized what I now know as spirits. Well, I started seeing them when I was very, very little. And this is coming from the Jehovah's Witness. She explained to me that I was between the ages of 2 and 4 when I saw my first spirit, and I said to her, well, hey, there's somebody standing on the edge of the bed. Of course, it's not someone she could see, so she kind of just like ignored it and just let it go. But that didn't change what I saw. Now keep in mind, they don't believe in that kind of thing. Now, growing up, as I would say preteen, I would say especially between the ages of like 5 all the way up until like 15 or 16, when I say menace, y'all, I was so angry, so bitter. I did a lot of stupid shit. And when you're a kid that age and you're being told constantly that there's something wrong with you, unfortunately, a lot of the time, you start to believe it. And that's kind of what happened to me. But on top of not having anybody to talk to, not having anybody to believe me, not having anybody to even justify my feelings, I acted out. I did a lot of things that I now look back on and just be like, damn, you know, if I had somebody to listen to me or just talk to me as a human, probably could have went very different. Now, once I got old enough and my life kind of settled down, I would honestly say within the last 5 years, maybe 6, I have really dug deep into trying to understand spirituality, trying to understand religion, and trying to understand what I went through from a young child to a young adult. And to say the least, religion can be awful at times. And I know a lot of people are going to hear that and be so offended. Well, let me help you with your offense. You didn't get raised as I did. One of the things that I unfortunately experienced the most is seeing people do unhealthy things and things that were, I would say, problematic, and using religion to justify doing it. I have never found that something easy to deal with or even easy to comprehend. I feel that, unfortunately, instead of religion being used to help you grow, to help you learn how to love, honor, and respect yourself, it has been used as a tool to eliminate self. And that, in time, has become way more problematic for me. Especially at this point in my life where I have chosen to wholeheartedly embrace spirituality and self-healing. Unfortunately, that's not something religion really enjoys, likes, or embraces. So in my spiritual growth, I have found my practice, which involves witchcraft and hoodoo. Both practices I absolutely love and embrace. When I started to understand that loving myself, embracing myself, elevating my vibrational level was something that I could not only achieve, but I could be successful at, you couldn't tell me to go back to religion. Religion taught me more about self-sabotage, self-hate, and judging people for being different. And unfortunately, I am now one of those people who get judged for being different. Now, this is going to be a couple of different points, and this is going to be all over the place, but I'm going to say exactly how I feel. Seeing spirits is not nor will ever be demonic. That is something I have continuously gotten demonized for. As a child, seeing spirits, speaking about it, and telling the truth about it, I ended up in many mental health institutions. I was told that that was demonic, that was spiritism, that there was something wrong with that. So I then began to believe that, but I also started lying. I started to lie and lie and lie because I knew if I told the truth, I was going to end up back in that place, and I did. Every time I was honest, every time I opened up about it, I ended up being institutionalized a total of either 4 or 5 times. I'm not sure. I think it's 4, but it might be 5. But instead of being honest and upfront about what I was dealing with, I started to lie about it. I started to just lie my ass off because there were consequences to telling the truth, both in home and outside of home. Let's be real. You go anywhere and you tell people, well, I see spirits, or I can hear them when they talk to me. You know where you're going, right? Once I found spirituality, okay, and I embraced my practice, and when I tell you, starting that journey is beautiful, but complicated, sometimes painful, and sometimes involves being balled up and ugly crying. But it can also mean peace, beauty, love, compassion, joy, so much self-love, elevating and understanding self-worth, vibrational levels. It's changed my life. But then I got demonized for it. Now make that make sense. This is where my problem with religion comes in. So I leave behind religion, Pentecostal and Jehovah's Witness, because I was judged, I was labeled, I was medicated, I was pretty much neglected for who I was. I was like pushed away, I was denied access, I was like, ugh. So I accepted the denial. I accepted being told no. And I found a form of spirituality that not only speaks to me, but explains who I am at such a deep level. I can't be mad at that. But when you come to someone like me and you choose to use religion as a tool to demonize me, to choose hate instead of love, because I'm different, because I choose compassion, because I choose understanding, I want nothing to do with you. So I'm trying to build a community where people like me who know that sometimes religion will literally demonize love. I think we all can use a little bit of that understanding. And I'm not saying I have a problem with Christians. A majority of the time it's Christians that have a problem with me, because thou shalt have no other gods with an S, meaning there's more than one, before me. But you can have an offering plate, but my money bowl is demonic. You can't see and talk to your ancestors or spirits because those are demons, but then ask the Holy Spirit to fill your body, because mine is wrong. Y'all practicing necromancy, same as me. Y'all just use Jesus to justify doing it. Anyway, blessed be y'all. Move with love.